So far I have spoken only good things about EV on this channel, but that doesn't mean that if there is a bad experience or something that concern me as an EV owner, then I would definitely share it in the channel. And today's video is one such not so nice experience with the EV. Hello everyone, welcome to the GreenNClean YouTube channel. My name is Vittal. If you are new to the channel, or if you are somebody who is looking to switch to EV, then there is a lots of information and videos on my channel here. You can see them under the videos section. I try to clear a lot of doubts, lot of myths, and lot of facts about EVs based on my real life experience, and that's what this channel promotes: real life experiences of owning EV, and talking about statistics and figures and the truth behind EV ownership. So if you are new, if you have not yet subscribed, a kind reminder to subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and help this channel grow. Okay, let's jump straight into today's episode and talk about the bad experience I had with the EV. I was on a road trip to Virajpet from Bangalore. Everything was planned just as you do for most of the long trips in an EV. I had decided on charging stops, primary option, backup option, everything. So everything was in place and everything was going smooth. So I started from Bangalore, went to Madikeri first, saw some places around, and then I went to Virajpet. Along the way, I had charged the car to 100%. So by the time I left from home, roamed around Madikeri, and then went to Virajpet, I had around 40% battery left. And to be honest, that was going as per plan. 40% battery on my car would give close to 180 200 kilometers of driving range, and that was enough to go around places in Virajpet, and um, everything was going fine. And to be honest, in and around Virajpet, there were 3 or 4 public charging stations, so there was no issue, supposed to be no issue with the public charging situation in Virajpet. So I was counting on that, and went to Virajpet with about 40% battery left. And what happened there was there was heavy rains over the last a week. Then I went also on the day that I went. So this was end of May 2025. Usually monsoon rains don't start so early, but this time everywhere it was raining in the last week of May. So Virajpet also it rained, so there was a lot of thunderstorm and rain, and there was no power at Virajpet for more than a day. In some places like Bhagamandala and Talakaveri where we went, the power was off for almost like 3 or 4 days as per the locals there. So I was in an area trying to go and visit places with just 40% battery left, about 180 kilometers of range left. And to be honest, I took the risk. I thought the power would come, the power would be restored, and saw all the places around that I had planned. And then I went back to Virajpet, and that's when this thing stuck to my mind. So I was down to 10%, barely about 50 kilometers of range left. And I was in Virajpet, and there was no power. None of the chargers that I went, the public charging places, there was no power for days, and it was complete blackout. And I had a situation. So just 10% battery left, 50 kilometers of driving range, and I'm at a place where the next nearest public charger with the electricity available was more than 50 kilometers away. So I was kind of stranded in that place. It wasn't all that bad, because worst case I would have just extended my trip till the point when the electricity was restored, and then I could charge my car and then head back to Bangalore. So I could have wasted one more day, or I don't know, maybe a couple of days on that trip. But who would want to waste a day or two when you have not planned for it, right? So it was not a good situation to be in. So I was wondering what to do next. I was staying in a place called Navut Homestay in Virajpet, outskirts of Virajpet, and luckily I could see that there is a Club Mahindra resort in Virajpet, and they happen to have an AC charger on their premises, and it was from Xeon Charging company. But I was not sure whether they allow the non residents of the hotel or the non guests of the hotel to charge. When I called the resort, they said they won't allow outsiders. So I was again kind of disappointed. But one thing was sure for me, that the charger was working in the Club Mahindra resort. Maybe they were running on generators. I'll come to that later. Running generators and powering your EVs. So probably they were running generators, or so what I did was, I called Xeon charging station. I know a person from that company. He's a good friend of mine, so I kind of requested him if I could go to the resort and charge my vehicle, and luckily they complied to it. And also, when I went to the Club Mahindra resort at Virajpet, so they were more than accommodating. I explained them my situation. They were more than accommodating to help me charge my car. So I went and tried, and to my to add to my attention, the charging didn't work for the first two tries, first two times that I tried. I don't know why it didn't work. So then I called the Xeon customer care number. It took some time to get to the people to talk to, and then they told me some remedies. Basically, just switching on the car, driving a few meters forward and backward, and then coming back to the charger and locking the car, and then trying the charging. So this was AC slow charging, by the way. It's not DC fast charging. So the third time it worked um, um, to my relief. So the car started charging, but it was slow charger, something like 6.9 kilowatt per hour, and at that rate it would take like a good 6-7 hours to charge the car to such a way that I can go to Mysore, which is about 120-130 kilometers from Virajpet, Pete, and charge my car. So I was in a situation again. So my car is charging, but it is slow charging. I need to wait 4 or 5 hours, and that's when I called my homestay back. Called Naut Homestay, explained them the situation. They arranged for a pickup from Club Mahindra, which was it was around 7 kilometers from there. But still, I'm thankful to the homestay owners who arranged for a pickup. So I went back. I left the car at Club Mahindra Resort, went back to my resort. It was in the evening, so just went there, relaxed, had food, spent 3-4 hours of quiet time at the resort, and then came back later in the night around 10-10:30. Again, the Noot homestay owner helped me there, so he dropped me back to the Club Mahindra resort. My car was charged to about 50%, so 10 to 50% it was charged in more than 4 hours. But anyway, now I had enough charge to get out of Virajpet and go to Mysore or somewhere beyond Mysore and then charge again. So this was the tense moment. To be honest, it was not good. I can give the benefit of doubt because it was raining heavily. There was thunderstorms, and there was a complete power blackout, and that's why I could not charge the car. But these situations will happen in life when you go on long trips. Maybe one thing that I didn't do was to go and charge at Madikeri or someplace outside Virajpete to charge it to 100% and then reach Virajpete. But then it was my overconfidence. I looked at chargers in Virajpete. There were 3 or 4 chargers. Then I thought such kind of overcautious measure was not required. So I didn't charge and went with just 40% battery into Virajpete. And probably that was my overconfidence, but it was not so good experience. This whole episode, because of the heavy rains and because of this charging issue, we lost about 4-5 hours in the whole trip. Remember, it is not just because of the charging issue that I lost time. Even if I had the charge, I would like to say that there was heavy rain in Virajpete. Probably we couldn't have gone and seen places in those 4-5 hours where I had this little situation. So that was my bitter experience. Now I can connect well with some of the people who say that in the rural areas it is difficult to manage EVs. But yeah, I mean, I understand that point now, having experienced it myself firsthand. But I think it is still an exception and not a norm. This is my first long trip out of 10 or 15 that I have done with this car on EV, that I am facing such an experience. I didn't had such an experience in any of the other long trips. They were all fine. So I would like to think that this is an exception than a norm. Um, Also, maybe some lessons learned, like trying to keep the car at 100% when you are nearing a rural area, and if you're staying in that sort of a tier 2, tier 3 kind of a city for a long time, maybe you're better off filling off your battery to 100% so that you can cover for such scenarios. So all in all, that is what I wanted to share. Not so great experience, but I want to share it anyways with you guys. If such things do scare you, then probably you should not go for EVs. But 1 in 10, 1 in 15 such experiences, that too because of extreme weather conditions, I would I would give it a benefit of doubt and still argue that EVs are still a good solution considering what benefit it brings to everyone. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. See you again in other episodes of Green and Clean YouTube channel.